Thank you very much, Artie. Yes, I have the IFP Deputy President, Mzamo Butheleezi. Butheleezi, before we had this TPPS, you had told me that your expectations were non-existent. Your expectations were very low. Now that we've had the speech, do you still share the same views?
As if we knew that we'd be disappointed. The fact that the state-owned entities are going to continuously have these bailouts is a bad story for us as the IFP and for people of South Africa. It speaks to one thing, that our government has failed us. But what I like to mention or to point out is that in his intro, the minister was very clear to say that the state capacity is very weak, which by extension means that the ANC itself is weak. I think we've come to a point now where we need to change course as people of South Africa to elect parties that have this political will to address matters. The fact that all these problems that are engulfing our state-owned entities has nothing to do with finances. It means that we can't keep on pouring money on non-financial problems. We are very sad as the IFP. Although there are some issues that the minister spoke about which are good news for us, but the fact that we are continuously going to bail out state-owned entities is very sad for us as the IFP. I thought he was going to use this opportunity and be man enough to actually point to the direction of privatizing them.
Let's talk about those good highlights because you have expressed your reservations about the negative side of things in this mini-budget speech. Let's talk about those.
The fact that there will not be downward revision of allocation to departments is good news for us. The fact that there will be so much money allocated to infrastructure development, and in particular the issue of roads and bridges in rural areas where we come from, is of course good news for us as the IFP. We can't blame the minister for that. And also the fact that he spoke about assisting small, medium businesses, because as I said, that for us to be able to address the issue of our debt, for us to get people working in South Africa, we need to put more focus on assisting SMEs. I think on those accounts, he actually covered what we expected from him.
Let's talk about the basic income grant, which is something that we also touched upon beforehand. It's been extended by another year. Many people feel it should be made a permanent feature.
I would say we are very happy because our people are not working. They cannot actually put bread on the table. So for government to consider extending it is good news for most people. But in terms of making it permanent, I think we should try to create more opportunities, because Africans and South Africans in particular are the kind of people who like to do things for themselves. They like to sustain themselves and not be dependent on government. As you know, there is no man that wants to actually keep on begging on other men. So I think what should be our focus is to create that environment where our own people will be able to assist themselves. Not that South Africans are lazy. They just wake up in one morning and sit there and not want to do anything. They are willing to work, but just opportunities are not there. While we continuously support them, but let us make opportunities so we can actually take people some outside of those grants, but to make more money available for the most desperate.
Mzamo Butheleezi, the IFP Deputy President, thank you very much for your time. I believe that, Artie, you do have more reaction from Dowling Street here in City Hall.